Hi, I'm Tim. Today I'm going to share a few tips that may be useful if you're new to gardening and are planning or have recently set up a new vegetable garden bed. We're going to be talking about site selection and different garden bed types. We're going to have a bit of a chat about soil. We're thinking about different plants that we can grow, how to care for those plants, and also how to manage the garden in general. One of the things that I believe is very important for new gardeners is to have successes early on. If you're met by constant failures, you're far more likely to give up on gardening altogether. So the tips that I'm going to give you are really easy to follow, simple practices that'll start to give you confidence and knowledge and start to develop that green thumb. So let's get going. When you're establishing a new vegetable garden, there's a few things that you should take into account. Firstly, you need to pick a spot that gets plenty of sunlight. So if you observe your garden throughout the day, you'll see where the sun and the shadows are, and you can pick the sunniest spot. You also want to pick a spot that's potentially protected from strong winds and storms. They have the ability to damage your delicate plants. So if you can find somewhere that's protected by shrubs, trees, or maybe a fence, that is definitely going to be helpful. The last thing you need to think about is soil. Some soil can be contaminated, especially if you live in the suburbs or close to the city. So the best thing to do is get a soil test. If you're not sure, you can remove the soil and buy and bring in new soil, or also use raised beds. That's a fantastic way to alleviate that problem. I've got raised beds in my garden, and they're fantastic because I have very shallow soil here. So it allows me to increase the depth of my soil. They're really accessible and I can reach in quite easy. And these corrugated beds are fantastic because animals can't climb up in to eat my plants. In other areas of my garden, I've got these hardwood sleeper raised beds. So these are fantastic. They're about 15 years old and show absolutely no sign of rotting out. They do cost a little bit more to establish, but if you use quality products at the start, you'll save money over time. Container gardening is a great way to grow food. It's perfect if you haven't got much space, or maybe you're renting and need to take your plants when you move, or if you are not ready to commit to a large garden. And you can grow food in almost anything. So I've got some pots here. This is an old plastic tub that I've upcycled and converted into a wicking bed or a self-watering bed. So get creative, use your imagination, and remember you can garden almost anywhere. So the next thing we're talking about is soil, and what a fascinating subject that is. So there's a lot happening in soil that we can't see and don't properly understand. But what we do understand is that the soil is full of life. The soil food web is composed of bacteria and fungus and protozoa and nematodes and many other organisms. Now these organisms have many different types of interactions between each other and also the plants. And many of these interactions are beneficial based on cooperation, or what we call symbiotic. The plants benefit from the soil organisms, and the soil organisms benefit from the plants. They help each other out. And we as gardeners are trying to support those relationships as best we can. The best way to create and support healthy soil is by adding organic material on a regular basis. So compost and manures are fantastic because they add nutrients to the system, which are going to be used by your plants, and they also feed that soil food web. So soil is composed of minerals, air, water, organic material, and that soil food web. Different soils have different characteristics. Sandy soils don't hold nutrients and water very well, but allow oxygen to penetrate. Clay soils hold water and nutrients very well, but don't allow oxygen to penetrate and can become compacted. The best type of soil is a combination between sand, silts, and clays. This means it will hold moisture and nutrients, but allow oxygen to penetrate, because oxygen is very important for the organisms in the soil. We want our soil to be loose and fluffy so that the roots can penetrate as deep as possible. And adding organic material is a fantastic way to keep that soil nice and loose. Mulching is another great way to care for your soil. Not only does it slowly feed the soil as it breaks down, it traps moisture and it also protects the organisms in the soil from UV radiation. So we're going to have a look at the soil here. So I'm going to reach in, you can see it's very loose, nice and dark, crumbly, high in organic material. This is perfect soil to grow your veggies. So now I'm going to show you how to do a really simple soil test. And this will help you determine what your soil is composed of, how much sand, silt and clay is in the soil, and also how much organic matter is in there. All you need is a glass jar, and you half fill the glass jar with soil. And now I add water to the jar, leaving about 1 centimetre at the top. I'm going to give the jar a really good shake for about 30 seconds. I'm now going to let this sit for 24 hours. And what will happen is the material will settle to the bottom and the different types of sediment will settle out at different layers. We'll have sands at the bottom, silts in the middle, clays on top, and then organic matter on top of that. When you're selecting plants to put in your garden, make sure you're choosing ones that suit the climate and also the season that you're in. If you're new to gardening, I recommend that you grow plants that are really simple. And things like leafy greens and herbs are so easy to grow, and they don't take very long from when you plant them to when you can use them. Another great thing to do in gardening that's really rewarding is to grow plants from seeds, but it does take a bit of time. I've actually got a video on how to make a really good seed raising mix and how to sow seeds, so check that out if you're interested. If you haven't got one, I strongly recommend that you get a compost bin. These are fantastic because not only do they divert all that organic material from landfill, but you create an amazing product that is very beneficial for your garden. So this beautiful, rich compost is one of the best things to add to your soil to feed your plants and also that soil food web. To care for your vegetable garden throughout the growing season, you should be feeding it on a regular basis. And liquid fertilizing is a great way of doing this. It's far less invasive than adding compost and manures. Now, when selecting liquid fertilizers, I recommend that you choose products that are derived from natural sources. So this one comes from seaweed, and this one comes from European carp, which is a massive pest in Australian rivers. I also add wormweed from my worm farm. So these are fantastic. They're full of nutrients, but they also support that soil food web. When I'm liquid fertilizing, I always do it when the soil is moist. So I do it following rain or after I've watered the garden. Otherwise, you can stress out the plants. The easiest way to apply fertilizer to your garden is with a watering can. So to make up my liquid fertilizer mix, I add a small amount of the seaweed concentrate, a small amount of the fish concentrate, and a small amount of the wormweed. I then fill up the rest of the watering can with water. The concentrates that we're using are quite potent, so you need to make sure you dilute them so we don't stress out the plants. And every 2 weeks I give them a really good water. It's also really important as a gardener to be observant. So keep an eye out for disease and pests that might be attacking or affecting your plants. The sooner you get onto these problems, the better off your plants will be. And there's lots of organic pest and disease management strategies that you can find online. So I hope these tips have been useful. I wish you the best of luck on your gardening journey. Check out some of my other videos and subscribe so you know when new content's available. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I'll see you soon.